Challenges faced by the UK construction industry continue to grow, from managing and organising unprecedented amounts of asset data to silo working and communication issues. To help overcome these issues, clients and suppliers need to work together to drive a more efficient delivery process for the built environment. Building Information Management, BIM, is a collaborative way of working that has been undervalued and underutilised over the years, but remains the key to unlocking more efficient methods of designing, constructing, and operating our built assets. Although the industry is well versed with the use of BIM for aiding design and construction during the capital delivery phase, we want to do much more to demonstrate the benefits of BIM when applied to operation and maintenance during the operational phase. Our SCAPE procurement pathway ensures that we embed key digital asset data into the common data environment to enable more effective asset management throughout a project lifecycle, from earliest concept through to operation. Collaboration is the key to BIM, and by creating centralised, accurate and trusted data, the sharing of information enables cost savings, time savings, quality outputs, improved lifecycle for your project, digital asset records to aid facilities management and compliance with government legislation.
The government have been pushing BIM for a long time, and really the reasons for that are some of the things that were quite well published around efficiencies in the construction process, in the design process. But what the government are recognising by continuing to mandate and push is the whole industry can get more productive and more efficient, done right. And that includes asset owners, that includes clients, that includes people who use the buildings, not just the people who build them. If your BIM planning is done properly, what your contractor at the end of your project is doing is giving you everything packaged up, ready to use. BIM allows you to say what's behind that wall, what's in the ceiling void, what's that made of. So all of a sudden you don't have to work so hard at working out what you've already got. BIM is important to clients at a number of different levels. But if we start with the most important thing of all, which is the Building Safety Act, and the requirement to demonstrate what's described as a golden thread of information. So we have to be able to show the users of the building in the future that the building has been constructed safely, that the components of the building are safe, that the materials we've used are going to perform in the way they're supposed to, and that all of that's been put together in the building in the way that it was intended. Since the Grenfell fire, we've learnt a lot about what we need to do in managing quality and managing construction. Another really important part of the value of BIM is if you are an organisation that is passionate about the environment and wants to be able to demonstrate you've got a low carbon building, you've got to know the materials that that building is made out of comprehensively. You've got to know how those materials were manufactured. And for the person in your project who's measuring the carbon footprint of the building, only a well put together information management plan will enable that to be done, because you need to know the carbon in the products, the carbon in the construction methods, and you need to bring all that together. And so it's a huge part of us unlocking decarbonisation of the construction process. In terms of to date, what we've got is some uptake from larger clients on big projects, but generally that uptake isn't there. I think clients perceive BIM as maybe not for them, so maybe they don't realise the benefits they can get. But I think the other thing is fear of the unknown, fear of the unexpected, fear of the technically complicated perhaps. We want to change that. We're an organisation that spends a lot of time thinking and working on this. We have access to expertise that a lot of public sector bodies don't, so we really feel a responsibility to make this happen. What we've done with our frameworks at this stage, we've looked really hard at the BIM Stage 2 mandate and the Building Safety Act. We've worked collaboratively with our contractors and we've said, how can we make this easy? How can we take the fear away? How can we unlock the benefits of BIM for our clients? And not in the design and construction process, how can we make sure that they get value from the process after we've walked away, after the project's finished? So our National Construction Framework now features support there. There are a number of pathways in the framework that clients can choose from that allow clients to realise those benefits with as little stress and pain as possible. So they want Stage 2 and they know what they're doing, that offer is there, compliant, simple. But if you need more help than that, if you need to unlock these benefits, then we have a pathway in the framework now that allows the contractor to work really closely with the client in a pretty unique way. So we bring the contractor to the table as early as it's possible to do so. So it's compliant, but it's instant. And we've got the contractor there with their expertise on BIM to help the client on their side of the problem. But where it is the right thing to do, we really want our contractors to get that across and to talk to clients about that and to help clients understand what they need to do differently. So it's that collective effort, bringing everyone together and really working for the future. It's our commitment, our organisational mission really to bring efficiency to bring value. So this is a really good way of doing that in terms of getting ahead of this and bringing solutions.
So University of Birmingham have invested in better estates management, particularly BIM and digital, over a number of years for a number of reasons. We've just had a really significant capital investment programme which has seen lots of buildings going up, lots of changes within buildings and demolition. So there's lots of data that we need to manage, lots of assets that we need to look after. And we took a view that the best way to manage all of that information is in a single version of the truth, in a standardised way. We could only do that through BIM. We needed to set up controls and systems and flows of information. So for us, it's increased and improved our security of data, access to some of the data that we've got. It's helped with some of the contracts that we had in terms of streamlining those contracts. But it's also helped us with our contractors and consultants that they can now access in a controlled and really open and straightforward way. They can access our data, which means there's a flow of information that we never had before. One of the things that's really impressed me is the ease that we have now of bringing people in at that really early stage. So we can bring the maintenance team in, we can bring the cleaning team in to look at the BIM model and to start to comment in a really helpful and quite critical way before the building's built in a way that you could never really do on a drawing. I think the whole life cycle approach around BIM is something that we're just starting to realise how beneficial that is. The focus has traditionally been at the front end. How do we build it? What do we build? How do we quantify it? How do we specify it? We're now starting to focus on in operation. More and more we'll focus on carbon, so that's in life. And we'll start to look at the end of life of a building as well. How do we transition a building from what it was currently designed for to what it might be in the future? And BIM will help us with that journey because you've got all of that detailed information about the fabric, the makeup, the materials. But if you think about it, the cost of operating a building is much, much more over the life of a building than it is to actually build it. And people are finding that that's an area now that they need to focus on with rising utility costs, expensive maintenance. So BIM delivered at that early stage, but then used as you get into that operational phase is really, really important because it gives you an insight to where there might be the ability to drive efficiency, to make sure that you've got proper asset replacement throughout the life of the building. As we're starting to get more and more information onto tablets in the hands of our construction and maintenance staff, we can get them to manage assets in a different way. Giving them that information enables us to avoid call-outs, to get the right contractor to the right place with the right part at the right time. So it's all about putting that information in the hands of the people that can actually use it. And all of these things free up time that it would have taken traditionally to chase stuff, to check information, to make sure it's in the right format. So there are lots of efficiencies. So in summary, based on all the work that we've done here to set the BIM system up, I think BIM does lead to better performing buildings across the whole life of the building, not just at the start, but during operation and right through to disposal or rethinking how we might use it.